All, I want to thank all of you for being here. The support of my family, my daughter and son are both here. And for all of you who have been colleagues and friends and fellow artists, and those of you who are students and past students of mine that I treasure and have known of as friends. And then there's this group of people who have gravitated together called the TAG group, which is a bunch of people who want to keep working and need support and need to talk about their work, and that thing's been going on about 20 years, I think, now. And we run sometimes 15 people, some 25, sometimes 5. But it's been a wonderful source of inspiration and support for all of us. So welcome to all of you, and you have meant a great deal to me. First of all, I think I want to, this is my Linus blanket, my idea for the next thing. And so when the sign says at the front that I'm compulsive, I am indeed compulsive. I have always had a pencil in my hand or a sketch pad, or I just seem like I've always had this nagging desire to say something about things that mean a lot to me. And so it's maybe a drawing, it may be a painting, but whatever it is, I think the need to record how I feel about what I do and what the life that I live. And then continuous, of course. I mean, I have always, as a child even, used to make little drawings for my father for Christmas, and found things in his trunk of things that I did when I was 7 years old. And used to remember the 7 boars. I remember designing the 7 boars so they could cut them up and have them walking around our front yard as in Indiana. And so I've always been involved in process. And I have a father who really cared about my being who I wanted to be and who supported me. He was very inexperienced in the arts, but as I got more involved in it myself, he would go to galleries and study the works and write me little notes about, I like this one a lot, Pauline, this was terrible. And so he didn't know a lot about art, but he wanted to know about it. And so he became a part of my life like that. And and then my husband, who also was tremendously supportive of me and knew that it was terribly important that I continue to be creative. In fact, whenever I became ornery and hard to get along with, he always said, it's time for you to get to the studio. Because I always somehow was able to work out all the kinks and come out happy again. And so it has been a drive for me, a really interesting and wonderful gift that I feel fortunate to have had. Because I see life, and I think my students and those of us who are in the arts realize that life is a rich experience, and there's much to be thankful for and to enjoy. And recording that and being a part of that is terribly important to all of us, regardless of what life we're involved in, what art we're involved in. When you may not be art at all, I was talking to a student the other day who was saying that I'm not drawing anymore. And I said, I'm not painting anymore. I said, but are you drawing? Do you always think drawing? Even if you don't draw, I keep my hand in my pocket and I'm pretending that I'm drawing all the time with a pencil. Because there's something about looking and learning and seeing that enriches your life and makes you don't draw then what you know, you draw what you see, because what you see teaches you what to know. And it makes everything very rich and a big experience for you. And so I also have this really desire to keep trying new things. I don't think I've appreciated the idea that art is really an autobiography. Your work is an autobiography. And a few years ago when I did a retro, I saw myself, my life, and the experiences, and the people I knew, and the time in Pakistan, and all of that came out before me. And so my work is a record, and it's important for you students to keep a record of what you do. I don't care whether it's very mature and very sophisticated, but somehow or other when you look back on it and see the development and changes in style and changes in material, all of that kind of thing that happens along, it makes you understand yourself better and the world in which you live better. And so it is a continual thing. And I often tell students when I'm teaching classes and they would make a mistake, I said, that's part of it. It isn't all the successes you could have. Yes, of course. We're happy when we do something that we like and it works. But sometimes you stand back and you say, did I really do it? How did this happen? It's always kind of a surprise. Some of you who saw the little paintings in the gallery up there, that's a crazy story. because when I had to move from my home to a small apartment, I had to change the size of the pieces I wanted to do. So the first thing I did was a little painting from a view from my window. Well, I did it colored pencil. I didn't like that. So then I put watercolor on top of that. I didn't like that either. So then I put a coat of oil painting on that. Well, that was a little bit better. And so then I put the second coat of oil paint on it. And then, well, I get where I was, but I don't like the surface. So then I put 3 coats of wax, aluminum wax on it. And I had to talk to my daughter because I had tried to iron to pull it over to melt the wax, and I tried putting it in the microwave, and there's a fire in the microwave, so half of it blew off and half of it stayed on it. And I tried my hair dryer, that didn't work either. And my daughter says to me, Mom, try a toaster oven. And so yes, that little tray, I can lay my little piece in there, I can watch it melt, and when I got just where I wanted it to be, I take it out, and I let it get hard, and then I buff it on my pencil. And if you can do it to look like porcelain. And so, but the interesting thing about it was the fact they weren't like they were when I put them in there. The colors all changed because all of that pigment under there, that water, and that colored pencil, and that oil paint, moved together in ways that gave me surprises. And that hooked me. I mean, that's the part's fun. When you have unexpected surprises. And so it can always be successes that come, that yeah, that's great. But a lot of times it comes out of sheer determination to make it work. And to just fight it through and continue to try new styles and new materials to see that you can do. So I have that little piece of here. This is odd because my poster, the notice about the show is a cut up piece of a painting. And so the little pieces, and then I get, maybe I should make a painting of that. And so there's always ammunition, fuel for the fire. And so you just are, as long as you're aware and you're open and always looking and questioning and asking, it will come to you. And the adventure is worth the risk, believe me. So it's kind of fuel for the fire. My biggest thing for you all now is to find out if anybody has any questions. I should tell you a little bit about my biography because I have a twin and I was born with my father raised me and with another family, and I was fortunate, as I said, for him to be supported. And then I went away, and I had a teacher in grade school who took me to museums. Now, she just invited anybody who wanted to go, with their parents' permission, they could go to a museum. And we didn't just walk through a museum. We actually they took the textbooks out of the cases, and they took the sculptures and brought them to us so we could feel them and look at them and work with materials that were similar. And so I'm addicted to museums, and I think it's a rich experience. I do a lot of reading. I think the lives of other artists can teach you a lot. Their perseverance, their investigations, the life trials that they have, whatever it is that has driven them to do their work is an inspiration to, at least to me, a great inspiration to me. So that's a part of it too. And then I went to high school. The high school I went to had 3,000 students, 1,000 in my graduating class. I had 7 art teachers, and most of us in the senior year were those who were interested, made up portfolios to try out to get these scholarships. And every one of us got a scholarship in that class to try that. Because she made us stay for postgraduate work in high school for 1 semester to prepare a portfolio so we could have that success. And so then I went to the Art Academy, and it was a tremendous experience for me. The only thing that they did was they bypassed the first 2 years and put me in a 30-year class, and I missed design, composition, rendering, all those things that I was going to have to teach when I came to the church. So I had to dig it out for myself, and it changed my life. It changed my work so much that I went back to the university and told them, don't ever do that again. I don't care how sophisticated the portfolio is, you have to get those fundamentals. That's extremely important. I don't care whether you would do graphic arts, whatever you're going to, you need the fundamentals in order to judge what you're doing and help you in making decisions about the processes that you use and the way you conduct yourself in your work. Then I went back to Indiana University to get my MFA with my husband, and then we were there on and Bob knows, and some of the people that I had as students are still my best friends. And so I treasure that, and I appreciate the fact that many of you here. So now, any questions you want to ask me? I'm not afraid. Did I tell you that?
Pauline, what was the high school? Its name?
Arkansas Technical High School, and it no longer in existence. But they taught all engineering